top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short, we're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, the title of today's podcast has probably intrigued you, because you want to know what is the secret, what is the hack, what's the shortcut, how can I leapfrog past everybody to get to success. But what I would say to you is that, unfortunately, there is no shortcut, there is no hack, and the secret sauce to success is consistency. It's showing up on a regular basis. You know, you can't really expect to have a popular blog just to write one blog post and leave it at that. Again, you can't really expect to have a successful YouTube channel with one piece of content. Heck, you know in your heart and soul that you're not going to lose weight if you just go to the gym on one day. You know that if you want to lose weight, you're going to need to show up on a regular basis. You know if you want to have a successful blog, it's going to need a lot of content, and somebody has to write that content. Again, YouTube channels. A lot of the big YouTube channels, they don't have just one or two videos. They have tens, hundreds, maybe in some cases even thousands of videos. And because of that, that's why they're successful as they are. But again, we don't like to hear that. We don't like to think that success could be just as simple as showing up. But what I would say to you is that, consistency is the easiest thing you can do, and it's also the hardest thing you can do. Because when you think about it, it's easy to show up. It's easy to be there every day. But it's also difficult to be there every day. Because there will be days when you won't want to do the work, when you're not feeling inspired, when you're feeling unmotivated, and you just want to take a day off and not do it. And I found that, sometimes recording the podcast episodes here, and sometimes writing blog posts, sometimes maybe sitting down to write my daily email, I don't feel motivated. I don't feel inspired, and some days I just want to take the day off and give it a miss. But you will find sometimes that when you actually push yourself through to do the work, even though the work mightn't be 100%, even if the quality of the work is 70 or 80%, I know that at the end of the day, that I'm pleased with myself, that I've, marked another X on the calendar. And even though I didn't want to do it, because I've done it, I actually feel better about the content, sometimes feeling better about myself than on the days when it was easy, the days when I was motivated. Some days when it's so easy to do that, it's not really as big a chore. But when you actually force yourself to go to the gym or force yourself to record your episode, you'll find that it'll mean more to you. You'll be proud of yourself for doing it. So what I would say to you is maybe just instead of looking for these shortcuts, these hacks, these way of, leapfrogging past everyone else, it's basically just to knuckle down, do the work on a regular basis. And be aware that, that your competition, the people that you are going to be competing with, are probably going to take days off. They're going to take weeks off, or maybe not show up as consistently as you are. And you will find that you are going to eventually catch up on those people who are ahead of you. Or you're going to pass out those people ahead of you because you're showing up on a more regular basis. So instead of looking for the secrets, instead of looking for the shortcuts, how about just being consistent? And you will find too that when you are consistent, because you are showing up more often, because you are working on whatever it is, whether that's recording podcast episodes, whether that is writing, whether that is videos or whatever, you'll find that the more times you show up, the better you'll actually get at it. And you'll find that consistency has a payoff, because you'll find that you will get better at what you are looking to do quicker, because you're doing it more regularly. If you think about it, if I'm only recording one podcast episode once a month, can I really expect to get good at recording podcasts? But what if I show up regularly? What if I show up every day? What if I do 30 podcast episodes in this month compared to only doing one? you will find that by the end of the month, I'll be a better podcaster, and that's because I'm showing up here regularly. So bear that in mind, that the people that you admire, the people who are successful, the people who are probably making a lot of money right now, it's easy to see them where they are right now and assume they've always been there. But when you find that when you read those autobiographies, when you read more of their blog and you go back to some of their early content, you find that they've been doing it for a long time. And sometimes they've been doing it for such a long time that nobody was really paying attention to them. Maybe it's only the last couple of months people have actually noticed what they're doing, and then everybody's on the bandwagon. But you might find that maybe for months, maybe years beforehand, they were writing content, recording content, doing podcast episodes when nobody was listening to it. But right now, everybody's talking about them. But that's because they put the work in, and that's where they are right now. So give that some thought today. Be consistent. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's also the easiest thing you'll ever do. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Would you like to know how I went from being a lowly shelf stacker, depressed, no confidence in himself, and how I went from that to becoming a popular children's author, and then on to even greater things, recording and selling my own digital products? If you'd like to find out how I did it, and if you would like to do the same yourself, if you head over to Writecom, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find a great free report over there, which is called the Online Business Manifesto. And in that report, I'm going to show you the journey I went on from the beginning to where I am right now. And I'm going to show you the 3 business secrets I learned along the way. Now, these secrets aren't secrets that most people talk about. Some people don't even realize that they exist. So if you head over to Writecom, download the free report, you are going to be miles ahead of everyone else who has an online business. Have a lovely day, and I hope you enjoy this episode.